Hello, Mattituck Presbyterian Church and friends, Pastor James, and I'm glad to be back after a week away. And we're about to begin a message series that will start this Sunday, April 19, and will last the rest of the summer and even into the fall. It's called Journey to the Promised Land. So we will go from where we've been, where we were in the 10 weeks prior to Easter at the foot of Mount Sinai. As we looked at each of the 10 commandments, we'll go from the foot of Mount Sinai with Israel into the wilderness, which is mostly what's called the Book of Numbers. In Hebrew, it's Bamidbar, which means in the wilderness. So we're going to walk with Israel through the wilderness and even with then Joshua into the Promised Land. And in most of the summer, we'll then end at another mountain. So we'll go from Mount Sinai. We'll end at the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus gives to his disciples his commandments. And all throughout this journey to the Promised Land, we're going to be looking at how God comes and joins his people, becomes present to, in and through his people to transform them. That's a powerful part of that story, especially in the wilderness. But no less so in the New Testament in the Sermon on the Mount. So I invite you to join us for this journey to the Promised Land, because I think that's something that we're all thinking about. We're looking at our nation in a very difficult, even a kind of wilderness time. And we as a church, we're between times, between kind of what has been and what might be during this year. So this is a great time to come together and to listen to God's word, especially the story, the journey of God's people through the wilderness from one mountain to another, from the wilderness into the Promised Land. So come and join us. In addition to that, starting this Sunday, our own Tom Hemmick is teaching a 3, maybe a 4-part Sunday school class, starting at 10:15 every Sunday. There'll be breakfast food included, on science and faith. Tom, as you may or may not know, is a distinguished professor of astronomy and physics at Stony Brook. So a man who really knows what he's talking about, what he'll be teaching from. And he's a man of deep faith. And spoiler alert, the science does not disprove faith, but in some ways makes it even stronger. So if that's something that interests you, I encourage you to join us this Sunday for that 4-part Sunday School for Adults class, beginning at 10:15 downstairs in the social hall. See you then.